Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Guy. This is Guy Talk Sports. Thanks for clicking on the thumbnail, watching the video. In today's video, we're going to give an update about the NFL draft. That started last night. Men's basketball team picked up a big-time transfer. I'm going to review that real quick. And then lastly, going to go over game one of Tennessee's baseball series with Missouri. Before we get into that, though, if you don't mind, underneath this video, there's something that is called the subscribe button. Smash that for me. Help me continue to grow this channel. Let's get into this. So, first round of the NFL draft happened last night. Unsurprisingly, nobody from Tennessee was selected. Nobody was projected to go in the first round, right? The three bigger stars that are, expected to go at some point in the draft are definitely Jalen Wright, Joe Milton, and Kamal Hadden. Now, none of these players, were expected to go in the first round, like I was saying. Honestly, I'm not sure if any of them will be selected in the second round either. In the first round, you didn't see any running backs get selected, which, again, that's not really a surprise. But I do think that you'll start to see a few running backs get selected this next round. If Jalen Wright does go in the second, it's going to be in the late second round. More than likely, the earliest he'll go is the third round. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes in the third round. That would be my expectation for him. That's what I hope for him anyway. The first three picks of the first round were all quarterbacks, with Caleb Williams going to the Bears. You had Jaden Daniels going to Washington, and then Drake May going to the Patriots. Michael Penix Jr. was selected 8th overall, went to the Falcons. J.J. McCarthy went 9th to the Vikings. And then lastly, you had Bo Nix going 12th overall to the Broncos. So 6 quarterbacks have now been taken. I think the earliest you could see Joe Milton go would be in the third round with his physical attributes, his really impressive arm strength, right? You never know who may end up taking an early flyer on him. To me, I think he's one of the most frustrating players to have played at UT, and I mean that in the best possible way, because you see him play and see all of that potential, but for whatever reason, when he gets on the field, sometimes things just don't click for him. And I'm definitely not trying to hate on him at all. I've said before how I'm a big time Joe Milton fan. The way he stayed at UT behind Hendon Hooker was super loyal. I thought that was really cool. So I wish him nothing but success. And we'll see where he goes. Definitely curious to see if somebody's willing to take him early, or if he ends up falling later on in the draft. I think Kamal Hadden is most likely going to be selected on day 3 in the final 2 or 3 rounds, most likely. He was having a great season last year, showed a ton of improvement from the previous year. And he was really coming along. It was unfortunate. I think it was during the Alabama game last year that he got hurt. I think he ended up hurting his shoulder, which again is unfortunate because he was showing a lot of promise. And I think if he had been able to play that full year, he could have worked his way up to potentially like a 3rd round pick, something like that. But again, got hurt, so he's most likely going to fall in the draft, later on. But I do think that he'll end up getting taken. I think that's probably the 3 most likely players to get selected. I'll be surprised if anybody else does. I know you have like Ramel Keaton, McCallan Castles, Jabari Small, but I'm not sure if anybody's going to be willing to pick them up in the draft. And sometimes that ends up being better for the player because in those later rounds, the money isn't typically as good. Let's shift on now to the men's basketball team. They picked up a big-time transfer at a position of need, especially after you had Tobe Awaka and Jonas Adu both leaving the program, both transferring out. Felix Okpara, I think I'm saying that correctly. Not 100%. I'm not heard anybody say his name yet. He entered the portal after playing for Ohio State this past season. End up choosing the Vols. He stands at 6'11", weighs 235 pounds. He was okay for Ohio State. Played a few minutes each game. Certainly fills a position of need for UT. I think the hope is that JP Estrella continues to impress, continues to improve, and ends up working his way into the starting lineup. But having somebody like Okpara behind him will certainly help bolster this roster. So definitely an exciting addition. Hopefully Okpara can continue to work on his offensive game and chisel out a nice role for this team. So, excited about that. It helps. Never hurts to have somebody at 6'11" join the team. So lastly, wanted to review the Tennessee baseball team, who have now moved up to number 3 in the nation after their big series win against Kentucky last weekend. On Tuesday, played Western Carolina in Knoxville, won easily 12-4. Last night, opened the series against Missouri, again in Knoxville, and they absolutely dominated. Missouri had no answer for what continues to be such an impressive offense for Tennessee. And Christian Moore continues to do Christian Moore things. He's having an amazing season. I think I heard on the broadcast last night, it's like 6 home runs in 6 games. I haven't researched that, so don't quote me on it. But he has just been absolutely lights out. They were hitting home runs all night last night, and it was a lot of fun to watch. So look for them to play again tonight, Friday, April 26th at 6:30 p.m. And I believe it's going to be on SEC Network Plus. And then they'll play their final game of the series tomorrow, Saturday, April 27th at noon. And I think they're going to have that one on SEC Network. So I think that one will actually be on TV, and you won't have to go through. It won't be on the internet. But that's all I have for this one. Just wanted to give a few updates. There's a few different things happening around the program, both football, basketball, and baseball. So wanted to kind of do an update on all those. Thank you for watching this video. I really do appreciate each and every one of you that take the time and watch these episodes, subscribe, all that. And so I really do appreciate it. If you don't mind, drop a comment down below. Where do you think the players are going to go in the draft? What are your opinions on the new pickup for Tennessee basketball, and how impressed are you with Tennessee baseball? Hit that like button for me if you don't mind. And lastly, smash that subscribe button for me. Help me continue to grow this channel. Thank you again so much. Go Vols. We'll see you next time.